Hey gang, another book review. And before I begin, I want to just preface this with an apology to one of my subscribers and to the rest of you as well as a group. Because a few weeks ago I promised one of my subscribers that I would do a review on Julia Serrano's Whipping Girl. And then I told all of you that in a subsequent video that I was doing. And I got sidetracked with this book. And I got through it pretty quick for me, not that smart. Not a very fast reader, but I got through it, and I think I got an idea of what it's about. And I want to talk about this book real quick. I promise Whipping Girl's coming up. This one is called The Man Who Would Be Queen, The Science of Gender Bending and Transsexualism, and it's written by a man named J. Michael Bailey. It was put out by Joseph Henry Press, and it's copyrighted 2003. The book is not necessarily J. Michael Bailey's studies and thoughts. The book cites several clinicians who studied transsexuals, most notably the famous Ray Blanchard. Now, Ray Blanchard is the man, if you will remember, who coined the term autogynephilia, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. Let me digress and go back to the studies and how Ray Blanchard categorized transsexuals. He interviewed a lot of transsexuals. I don't have an exact number. He interviewed and studied effeminate boys and homosexuals. He's a sexualist, or he studies sexuality. J. Michael Bailey worked with some young child in the book he talks about, who was an effeminate child, whose mother thought that he was going to maybe grow up to be a girl. And J. Michael Bailey, it's kind of funny because J. Michael Bailey has determined that he could tell what your sexuality is going to be when you're a child. He can guess within like 95% certainty what you're going to be when you grow up. And he uses the categories of transsexuals that Ray Blanchard came up with. Now, you could take this book with a grain of salt. You could take this book to heart. But I took it to heart in a way because the studies have been criticized by a lot of modern day clinicians, psychologists, psychiatrists, what have you. And even Ray Blanchard himself tried to separate himself from J. Michael Bailey in the book a couple years after it was published, saying that, maybe I didn't really talk to enough people. Maybe the groups weren't big enough for me to come up with these diagnoses. And that's great. Good for him. He's an open-minded guy. He doesn't think that everything, he doesn't think he knows everything. That's awesome. I wouldn't mind meeting the guy someday. But what I got from the book, really I had to take it to heart because they described me to a T in the book. Now, whether or not I want to subscribe to the label they put on me, I'm not sure yet. But I knew from the description of the transsexuals that they were interviewing and the ideas they came up with from that interview or from those interviews, I knew they were talking about me. So I had to read the book. If you are curious about why you're a transsexual, this is not a bad book to read. I am not telling you this is the be-all and end-all of books. And I just have this notebook here because there's a free PDF of this book online. I downloaded it. It's on my tablet. I don't have the book to show you. It's called, you can replay the video. It's called The Man Who Would Be Queen by J. Michael Bailey. I'm going to put this down. No, I'm going to keep it. It's 250 pages. And the thing that really hit home with me was that this Ray Blanchard had come up with categories for transsexuals. And one of them was, or two of them are homosexual transsexuals, which are obviously effeminate men in his, not obviously, but effeminate men who are interested in men. They want to become women and be with men. Okay, but he's not calling any of these people women trapped in men's bodies, which is the modern day narrative. Okay, what his second category was heterosexual transsexuals, men that want to be women but don't want to be with men. They want to be with women. Okay, he coined those men the term autogynephilic, saying that those men, heterosexual transsexuals, are in love with the idea of being a woman. Okay? And he listed how, and cited how homosexual transsexuals, or little boys that become women and seek out men and want to be in a relationship with a heterosexual man, how their parents thought they were girls in boys' bodies. They themselves thought they were girls in boys' bodies. They knew at a very early age, they had this feeling in their mind in a very early age, hey, I'm a girl. I don't know why I'm in this body. I don't know why I got this thing. You guys are all crazy. Treat me like a boy. Okay? And then he in stark contrast, the heterosexual transsexual, or the autogynephilic transsexual, is, he may have had some transvestic thoughts, or he cross-dressed when he was 5 years old, 6 years old. He desired to put on his sister's clothes when he was 6, 7, 8 years old. Some of these people didn't have transvestic or cross-dressing feelings or desires until they were in their teens. But one thing they all had is during puberty, when everything starts to work, they became erotically interested in cross-dressing. Now, some of these guys were able to suppress these feelings. They didn't come out as trans or have trans feelings till they were 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever. Obviously, way beyond puberty. But the ones that had these feelings when they were 6, 8, 9, 10 years old, 12 years old, had a very strong erotic desire to wear women's clothing erotically, if you know what I mean. That's as far as I'm going with that. Now, that's what autogynephilia is. You fall in love with the idea of yourself as a woman. You put on the women's clothing and it excites you. Okay, that's autogynephilia. A lot of these people grow out of it. It's the erotic part of it kind of goes away. But these guys usually grow up to marry women because they do like women. Okay, and they're just kind of, where he got he went a little overboard, in my opinion, was that he would say they have a relationship with their wife and then they have a relationship with themselves. I don't know if I subscribe to that from personal experience, but anyway, it's a good book. Another reason why you might want to read this book is if you are an activist. Okay, you're somebody, or you want to be able to argue against the trans haters. Okay, because these studies and studies like these done in the 70s, 80s, 90s, this is where the trans haters, the people that don't want us in their restrooms, the people that say we're not women, we're perverts, we're sexual predators. This is where these studies are where all those guys got their education. So you can, by knowing what your enemy is going to try to use against you, it's going to make you stronger in your arguments against them. This is a really long book review. I'm going to give this book an overall 5-inch heel, because I think anyone that's interested in standing up for themselves as a transsexual should get an idea, even if you don't buy the book, or if you don't subscribe to the ideas in the book, you need to know where all these ideas and our enemies are coming from. Now, I found so much in the book that about me that I had to continue to read the whole book, and now it's it's kind of changing my opinions of where I'm going and where my life might go, because I'm gonna search out some other books and talk to a therapist about how they feel about these attitudes. Nowadays, it's all about, oh, we're all just transgender and we just got to be happy and whatever, blah blah blah. What the book did say was autogynephilia is not curable. It's not it used to be categorized as a paraphilia, which is a dangerous, which is a hurtful sexual orientation or fetish, if you will, that can cause damage to your lifestyle, to your life, to your body, to your, you could kill you, that sort of thing. It's not a paraphilia. It's harmless. According to this book, it's harmless and it's incurable. So, it's not the end of the world if you believe that you are one of these people that are described in this book. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. These are all natural things that the human race has within itself, little quirks. And I don't think, even having subscribed to possibly being autogynephilic, I don't think there's anything wrong with me. Hey, what did I say? 5-inch heel? I forgot my rating system already. 5-inch heel. Okay, read it. Okay, it's free. You buy it on Amazon, it's like $55, but you can download the PDF. Google it. Love and peace to all. Let's just try to accept one another for who we are. My phone won't turn off. Oh, I gotta get the camera. I gotta get the camera going. All right, this is we got a blooper reel here.